Alright, so let's try this again. First, the first video, I lost power, and everything went black, and that was interesting. Anyway, okay, so today we're going to take a look at the Combiner Wars Megatron Leader class. Here's a quick look at the packaging. Not much to see here. We got some artwork of Megatron here. It's nice. More artwork of Megatron here. Again, nice. Product shots, bland, 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 bland. It also comes with a little collector card, which has an image of the G1 Megatron, which is pretty nice. And on the back here, we've got some decals, which I'm not going to put on, but they're pretty nice. And here is the Megatron in his robot mode. And he does also come with this rifle. It does turn into two little pistol type doohickeys. And you can just plug it into his hand, and there you go. It looks really pathetic in his hand, to be honest. This just looks weak. I guess you can plug it into his forearm if you really wanted to. If you really wanted to. See, he's got 5mm port on his shin. You can plug it there. And that's just about it. So forearm, shin, or hands. Yay. Now he does have his big cannon here. Quite frankly, I think it's kind of small for a figure this size. I think this is kind of dinky. You can press this red button here and his missile will launch out. I'm going to put my hand in front of it because I have a tendency of losing these damn things. So it does fire. Whoop-de-doo. At least it's kind of in this slot right here, so it's hard to accidentally hit it. So, you know, at least there's that, because I absolutely hate having those hair triggers like on the top like his was. That's like a hair trigger right there. As you can see, I don't display my figures with the missiles unless they're the Seekers. But yeah, here he is in robot mode. Posability, his head does swivel around. It does look up and down, up and down. He's got a really, really nice head sculpt. Let me try and zoom in on that. I mean, that is G1 Megatron head sculpt at its best. No question about it. Zoom back out. His shoulders do rotate up and down. They go in and out. There is a bicep swivel, hinge at the elbow. Nice ratchets going on there. There is a swivel at the hand. Same articulation on the other side, but you do have to take the cannon here, which is supposed to be like that. You got to take this and move it out to the side if you want to use that. So, waist rotates a little bit. Hips can go up and down and out. It only goes that far because of this front skirt. Goes all the way back, and it can go out. The skirting here does move out of the way. There is a thigh swivel, ratcheted knee. He's got lots of ratchets in him. And then the foot does pivot a little bit due to transformation, just up and down. But there's really no in and out, side to side pivots. So he's pretty... this is one of the issues I have with this figure, is if you want a stable stance, he's got to be straight up and down. No dynamic posing with the feet whatsoever. It's straight up and down. That's it. It's all you get. I guess that's all you really need, but at the same time, I mean, I do wish there was a little bit more playability there. And we'll get into other issues I have with him as we go. But you see, like, he's a little floppy at the arm. This is just kind of wiggle, 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 wiggle. This arm, just the same problem. He seems kind of floppy. A little bit. He's pretty stable. It's just this right here is a little floppy. Anyway, and he does get that the look of the G1 Megatron out real well. So, all right. So for transformation, it's actually, this is one thing I really do not like about this figure is, you know, you guys know me. I'm not a huge fan of overcomplicated figures, but I'm also not a huge fan of oversimplified figures. I like to have that perfect medium, and he is way too simple for a figure this size. He's definitely complicated enough for like maybe a deluxe, and I would have been happy with that transformation, but his transformation is not fitting a leader class figure. So what you want to do is fold the foot up like so. Then you'll come up here and you'll pull the chest out like so. Just rotate his head like that, and then this will angle up like that. Then you take these panels here and they fold down, cover up the hands. This will rotate around and then hinge in. This will come up like so. But first, you want to swivel the legs up like so, and then this piece here will come down and just kind of come out of the way here. Then you can rotate the arms in, and there's going to be a tab here, a tab here. They'll plug in that hole there, and that hole right there. So you fold this in, and they tab together. Like so. Alright, now you want to unplug the two back sections here. They fold up, and then they're on these little armatures here, so they just kind of rotate forward, and then they fold up, and there's a little slot right there this tab here will plug into. Just like so. Same thing on this side. Okay. Then these will fold together, and there's let's see, there's a tab right here. I'll plug into that little tab, or that slot right up there. So you just kind of angle it in, tab together, angle it in, and tab it together. Then you can take the barrel of the gun, pull it out, and pull these two sections apart on the gun, and you can plug one in on this side and one in on this side. And there you have Combiner Wars Leader Class Megatron in tank mode. He does roll with those rubber treads, because these are rubber. I didn't mention that earlier, so I guess that would have been nice to know, right? Oh, and then this section here, you can see there's like these little teeth on the thighs, and this skirting at the bottom will just kind of plug in between those teeth. There you go, just like so. So it does roll. Technically, because of the way the treads are designed, it is an H-tank, but you don't really get the H-tank vibe from it. Just more of a standard tank. So yeah, it rolls. This does rotate. There is no pivot on the gun. I kind of wish like maybe right here there was a hinge that could folded up or something like that. I mean, seriously, a tank doesn't just aim straight. They angle up or down, depending on what the need to shoot at is. But yeah, it does rotate all the way around. It does its job fairly well. It looks like a great tank. I actually do really like this alt mode. I think it's awesome. I think the transformation is way too simple, though, in my opinion. So to change it back real quick, pull the guns off. And you just take these and you plug them together. And these will come out. Pull the skirting off the legs. Bring the legs out. Pull down the feet. These will come to the back, and then they rotate down. Rotate down. Plug into. There's a little tab and a hole, and a hole and a tab. Those will just line up and plug together, like so. These two will come out, like so. The skirting comes up, locks in place. This will fold down, and there's two tabs here and here, pegs. And there's two holes there and there. Those just come down and line up. Fold the barrel down. Rotate around. And I guess you don't even have to rotate it around. It does have kind of that Megatron barrel look from the bottom too. That actually looks more like it, but then you end up with this whole section on the top that I don't like. And you just pull this piece out. Come on. Come on. There we go. Like so. And like so. And there you have Leader Class Megatron back in robot mode. Now let's do some size comparisons here. Here he is with the classic Seeker mold. Does not work even remotely. Not even close. Here he is with the War for Cybertron Megatron. Obviously this wouldn't work either. Just kind of giving you an idea of what he looks like with this guy though. Here he is with the MP Prowl. And that kind of works. But two issues with him going into a Masterpiece collection. One, he's a little too short for the MP10. From what I've seen, I don't have the MP10 anymore, so I can't show him off against it. But also, you look at this thing, and yeah, he looks like G1 Megatron, but he doesn't have the quality of a Masterpiece. He doesn't have that shine that makes Masterpiece figures so great. He just doesn't stack up to MPs, I don't think. Here he is with the Brainstorm, which is the same size as the Aegir Seekers. And this would actually work very well, because that's about how big Megatron would be with those. And then here he is with the Hot Rodimus figure. And that, I mean, if you're using him as Hot Rod, that would work. But if you use him as Rodimus, doesn't work. Because he should be same height. And here he is with the Classics Megatron. I just want to... And as you can see, like, he comes up to about mid-chest, and he comes up to about lower to mid-chest. So, you know, if you're saying, like, this scale doesn't work, then this scale won't work. Because they're about the same scale to each other. Just about. And here he is with Classics Optimus Prime. See how those two stack up there? And then the last thing I want to show him off with. Here he is with the leader class Jetfire, who's about the same size, a little shorter. So, okay. Now here's my problems with this Megatron. We're gonna get all this stuff right out of the way. First off, we're gonna talk about scale. He's too small and not good enough for me to say he's a good MP Megatron. Now, I know a lot of people are eagerly waiting for a good MP Megatron, so he would be a good placeholder for an MP Megatron. No, he's not a good, completely, like, this is my new masterpiece Megatron. No, he's not good at that. But he's a good placeholder. I can agree with that. Now, I don't think he fits in Classics. For many reasons. You can see how big he is against Optimus Prime. So if this Optimus Prime is the one you're using and you want to go with Megatron, you're going to have to get a bigger Optimus Prime. Which means you're going to have to go to either Orion or, you know, maybe the Combiner Wars Optimus. I don't have it. I don't plan on getting it unless I find it in the stores. I'm not going to order that thing. Because I don't think he looks enough like Optimus. So you're going to have to go to either Orion or the iGear's Faith Leader. Those two should come up to about right here or so. Maybe a little shorter, but around in this area. So that would scale a little bit better. But then you would have to get the iGear Seekers. Again, I know he's not an iGear Seeker, but he's the same size as an iGear Seeker. So then you'd have to get the iGear Seekers to use this Megatron. So if you don't already have those, and you don't already have Orion or Faith Leader, you know, you're looking at spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, close to $1,000 on just the Seekers and either Orion or Faith Leader. Then he doesn't work anymore. He works really well with, like, Classics Megatron or the Fall Cybertron Megatron. The Jetfire works really well with either of these because Jetfire's supposed to be bigger. Or Skyfire, whatever you want to call him. But he's bigger than Skyfire now, or Jetfire. So he's bigger than him now, so that means he doesn't scale in this anymore. So then you have to replace him with probably Kronos, and that opens a whole new world of problems, the Dakatoys Kronos. Then, here he is with, like, Motormaster. So now we're talking to the head. He comes up to about mid-chest on a combiner. So now the combiners won't work. So now you'll have to get bigger combiners, which means you're going to have to spend, rather than $100 for the full set, you're going to have to spend $100 per limb and get, you know, the bigger ones. And there isn't a bigger Motormaster right now. This is the bigger Motormaster. That's it. That's what you get. And on and on and on. You know, the Legends Insecticons won't work anymore, so you have to get bigger Legends, or bigger Insecticons. If you go with the bigger Optimus, then he's going to get too close to the Dinobot size, so you're going to have to get bigger Dinobots. And it just rolls into a horrible, horrible situation where you're going to have to replace your whole collection to fit this guy in. So scale-wise, I don't think he fits anywhere. I don't see a purpose to him. And that's. I mean, he's a good figure. He looks good when he's like this. But he just doesn't scale with anything. And that's a huge problem for me. I mean, I'm not a huge scale nut, but I can't have one leader Decepticon towering over the Optimus that much. Especially since I'm actually, my collection I'm building is more in this scale, for the G1 for season 1 and 2. So, I mean, which would you think is better? I mean, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for the scale I'm building, and I think he's too big unless you want to go to the big classics scale. All right. So now that's out of the way. Let's talk about other issues I have with him. Well, let's talk about a few things I like about him. He does have a really good head sculpt, and I really like the fact that, every Megatron we had before, like, here's this one, gray plastic. Here is the Hinkei one, which is like the upscale, really nicely done. He's got a little chrome here, some silver paint here and here and here, but for the most part, he's gray plastic. Prime Megatron, all gray plastic with little hints of silver on the inside. This guy, nice, just gorgeous silver paint, head to toe. Everything on him is painted silver. He's got some little hinges and stuff right here and here that are just the gray plastic, but it works to kind of accent the silver as well. So that's really nice. I really like that. They put so much time and attention to detail in like this section and just everything on him. I mean, he's got all these nice little rivets, rivet kind of things in the metal, on the plates and stuff like that. The working tank treads that are rubber, all of that's just absolutely incredible. I really like it. Posability. His legs are worthless, almost. You get this stance and that's it. Here's Classics Megatron, same problem, but you do get a little bit more playability with the thigh swivels. His don't quite swivel out that far. And because the toes do bend, you could actually get a wider stance and just kind of pose those toes, angle those toes in a little bit, and it kind of helps stabilize him. Whereas if you leave him flat, he's kind of more on a rocker. Whereas him, if you take the legs out, that's what you get. Yeah, he stands fine, but it's only a matter of time before he's going to fall over, because these don't have any wiggle in them. And like I said, if you want to swivel his thighs out, they go out about that far, and that's it. So, nothing like the War for Cybertron Megatron, whose feet are extremely posable, and he can get a wide stance like that. So what does all that mean for me? It means this is how he has to be posed, straight up and down. I do not like the location of the shoulder joints either, because they're in the mid-chest. Everyone else has shoulder joints on the top of their shoulders. They should be up here, not here. So that means when you move his arm, it looks like he's got no shoulder. You can always just move that, and then it looks like he just can't move that much when you do stuff like that. It's like I can only move my forearms, I can't move my shoulders, kind of thing. And then when he goes out like this, it kind of breaks up the entire aesthetics of the arm. If you just go out one hinge, that's not too bad, but then 2, that's bad. 3's worse, and there is no 4, so that's as far as his arm can go out. So all in all, I think it's a good figure. I do recommend picking it up, because you never know. We're probably not going to get this guy reissued anytime soon, and this might be the best Megatron that we're going to get. I'm going to keep him because I don't want to sell him or give him away and then find out later on down the road that, hey, I really, really want to have Megatron back, and then have to spend the obscene prices. But I think they could have put a little bit more engineering into this figure and made him a little bit better. I really do. Paint wise, he's just gorgeous. And I think if he were a Voyager class figure, like this guy, I probably would be giving him a 10 right now. Because I would forgive a Voyager class figure, you know, having this kind of engineering and lack of posability, because he would be a Voyager and just be awesome. But also, this is what I was talking about earlier. See the cannons here? I mean, his is wider than his. His is just a little bit longer. But if you don't include this little tiny dingly bit there, they're actually about the same size. Only his is bigger. So, anyway, sorry. So yeah, if you were a Voyager, I probably would be giving him a higher score, because I think that would be forgivable in that scale. But as a leader class figure, I do expect a little bit more ingenuity going into these guys. And the posability is lacking, and the scale is not as good as I would have liked it. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think he's good. He could be better. He's a little underwhelming. You know, all that hype and buildup of the figure going into this, you know, I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. And then I get him and I was like, oh, well, that is a Megatron. He just lacks luster for me. And that's really shocking, because he's got so much great things going on for him. It's just what he fails at really does fail at. So yeah, if they were to downsize this to a Voyager scale, or maybe a very large deluxe, I'd be ecstatic about it. But as it is, I think he is better than Hegemon. He doesn't look as G1 as Hegemon, but he's much better figure. Doesn't feel like he's going to break, and none of his joints are on clear plastic, so that's nice. And it does feel very stable. He really does. He doesn't feel like he's going to fall apart and break. So, anyway. So yeah, I think 7 out of 10, that's a fair scale for me. Eventually I'm going to do a war video of all the Megatrons I have and see which one's the better Megatron. But yeah, there you go. There is the leader class Megatron.